he stumbled up onto became a
Oh,
serial
so he has
unaliver.
to go out.
I forgot what that guy's name was, if y'all
Uh,
remember.
yeah, it's gonna be either Frick.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Ted Bundy or
Yeah,
or
yeah, I think it's him. I think
Yo,
I
Gibby,
forgot.
what's the relevance here?
That what is the difference between you and someone that has no regard for life just because it's innate and just because it's your neuron firing? Like you have to take into account that there's billions of people on this earth, and there are a lot of people that don't have a regard for life. But like you said, everything is technically subjective. So why should you have a regard for life? Because it's wrong.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary in what sense? What
Yeah,
I'm saying,
it's
or
not
the
that
regard
you
for life?
ought, it's not that you ought care about life.
Yeah. No, it's not
Think
necessary. It's
do
not
you think
necessary at
it's
all.
do you think it's possible to learn to not value life?
Yeah.
it's called being a
Do you
soldier.
think do you think that's a bad thing?
No, it's situational, and no.
Okay.
So
But do you disagree with a person learning to not value life?
no, I don't.
All right, could I interject real quick? Host, thanks for bringing me back up. Mackenzie, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I'm not
That
really
was
going to stay.
Mackenzie's recommendation.
Yeah, I'm not really going to stay though. But I did want to ask you something, and this is the only thing. Just maybe three quick questions. Your authority in life. What do you say that is for you? Who or what is your authority?
My consciousness.
Okay. And also,
Wouldn't that be limited?
when you think of morals, right? When we think of morals, I guess it would run in the same vein, right? It's what you consider to be moral as opposed to what society thinks. How do you come to your moral understanding?
Empathy.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
No, no, just let. Okay, so he feels.
No, I agree.
Okay, so empathy. All right. So whenever a situation occurs, regardless of how it's going, you just utilize your own perception of what you feel is empathetic, and that's how you determine if it's acceptable or not, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, in other words, have you ever found that certain things that you believed that was moral and true to you, others found it that it was not moral, correct?
Yeah.
So, what makes your moral now better than the next person's moral?
They're
Or
not.
should I say, is there an absolute moral? Like, there's an absolute truth? Do you believe in that or no?
Sure, I hold to subjective morality.
Oh, I see. Okay. And one,
Yeah, I
two
do
other,
agree with that.
two other questions that I'm going to drop. When you kick the bucket, whether it's today, 20 years, 100 years from now, however long you live, what what happens to you?
I don't understand the question. Oh,
Meaning,
when I'm alive,
yeah, when you're
Yeah.
alive, what happens to you?
the loss of consciousness.
Kylo, do you think truth is subjective?
No.
Okay.
Okay, but wait, can I further go back to that
Well,
statement of the
yeah,
unalive?
truth can you're gonna have objective truth, and then you can have subjective truth
I'm
too.
just saying, like, do you think that, like, let's, like, your sweatshirt, if I sat here and I was like, I believe that it is pink, that doesn't make it pink just because I believe that, right?
It
Hmm.
could be pink if she's colorblind, but can we go back to that statement about if
All right, but hold on. This is the last thing. So now I understand that when you kick the bucket, that's it. No more. It's like you hit the delete button, right? You hit the delete button, and you totally don't exist anymore. And
It's
that's
like
it.
before you were born, there was a lack of consciousness, correct?
Before
yeah,
I was born, you mean in the womb?
Before you were born, before you were
before you were conceived?
conceived of, there was a lack of consciousness, correct?
There was no consciousness, not a lot.
And I just hold to the position that after you're unalive, there's also no consciousness.
Okay, but can we go over
All
the
right,
fact?
so hold
Hey,
on.
when you guys are done with this, I have a question.
So all I'm gonna offer is, and of course, it's something you probably don't believe, but wouldn't it? It's kind of sad to feel that once you leave this dimension, there's no more of you, right? And that's it. So basically, you got to do all can in this earth because that's it for you, right? But what if there was another dimension that after you leave, you could have a more abundant and satisfying, fulfilling life? Would you want that if it was possible?
Yeah, that sounds cute.
I like that. Well, that's a fair answer. All right, that's all. Well, thanks again, host. I really appreciate you. Love everybody. Mackenzie, you're amazing. And God bless everybody.
Appreciate you,
You
Cool. Take
too.
care. Appreciate you.
Kylo, can we go back to that statement
Appreciate it, bro.
about the
Shout out Cool. Shout out Cool.
consciousness and all that?
What'd you say, Gibby?
So do you want to go back to that statement and the question about the consciousness before and during or after all that?
Wait, really quick before y'all go at it, because my question's so fast. Can I ask really quick?
Yeah.
Okay, what, Kyla, what is, because when I asked, like, do you think truth is subjective? You said no originally, but then you said you think that there are some truths that are subjective. What would be an example of one of those?
That Vaughn here is a good debater.
Well, that's not a truth, that's an opinion.
That's a true
Sometimes
point.
opinions are truths to certain individuals. That's what makes
Yeah,
them
opinions can
subjective.
be true, but truth doesn't change based on your opinion. Would you agree?
Right, but what about that's my truth or that's their truth?
That's postmodernism.
Like it's what they
I think
feel,
it's
but that's what
stupid.
he means by subjective truth.
Right, those are feelings, but they're not true.
Can you define truth?
Wait,
So I think the difference
All
here
I
is,
was
you know,
asking-
saying something that is true is like a fact of, you know, reality, how like the water cycle works. Something like that
All
is more of like an objective truth versus, oh, I think so and so is a great debater,
Okay.
is more of like a subjective
Right.
truth. Is that
I get
correct?
that. So and I understand that. That's why I was asking, like, for your definition of that. All I was getting at is you agree that there are truths that it doesn't matter what you believe about them, they are still true, right? Okay.
What, Kylo? Oh, is she? Oh, okay.
Right, so Kylo,
So if I may, real quick, I just I came up here because I heard you guys talking about you know, the fallen angels and stuff like that in Genesis 6 and stuff, and I wanted to point out that Noah actually never did try to bring people on the ark. That's something that was said but is not mentioned in scripture. So we don't know that these parents ignored Noah's warning to get up onto the ark. And I also think that there is no scriptural backing to say that the kids that were later, you know, offed by God's people in the desert, I don't think that there's any scriptural evidence to show that those kids were in any way descendants from the fallen angels. Because if we were to say that, then you would have to admit that God failed with his flood attempt.
You said that there was no evidence that there were more than, because there was only like what, 7 people in the ark. So what are you saying? There's no evidence that those parents weren't on the ark when there was only
I'm saying that there's nowhere in the Bible that shows that Noah warned anybody about the flood.
That's not true.
Yeah, even Jesus in Matthew said that the people did not know about the flood until it came.
That's not true.
Can I say something real quick?
All right, I'll find the verse for you where Jesus said it himself.
Okay.
Who said that God is a man?
He said that he was a woman.
verse 9, we have to take into account that God is.
I just gotta say, because before there was patriarchy, there was matriarchy. So.
Oh God.
There was marriage.
Yeah, let's get back.
Let's go back to the flood.
Yeah.
So if we take a look at Genesis chapter 6 verse 9, it says that Noah was blameless and he was a righteous man. So with, I guess, subjective opinion, in my opinion, I think a righteous and blameless man would be going out of his way to warn people to possibly change from their ways and to possibly be like, hey, yo, God is going to wipe the world. God is going to unalive the world. Come with me on the boat. And that's it. So with that being said,
was the argument not that he wanted to wipe away the Nephilim to begin with?
it was the sin and the Nephilim.
the
So
contaminated
he was going to wipe
DNA.
away the world no matter what.
So can I
To a
just
certain extent,
can I
yeah.
talk super quick?
But so
I just wanted to confirm that I am not a child. I'm 29 years old. Since Forrest wants to debate me on that in the comments, but we're talking about Nephilim and all those things. And you guys that are Christians in this chat, I just want you to I just want to warn you that God doesn't want us to speak on these conspiracies, and you can go through Hebrews in this over and over again, and Isaiah. Speaking on conspiracies is not something that God wants us to really lay our hearts into, because it can end up leading us into deception. So I think when we're speaking as Christians in debates like this, that we need to be honest and true to what our Bible that is handed in front of us is talking about, not going into the book of Enoch, I think it is, or those deep conspiracies that are not from the Lord. I
The
think
book
it is
of Enoch
something
isn't really considered part of the Bible unless it's a part of the.
exactly. And Enoch talks about Nephilim and those things, and
Enoch, but so does
also
Genesis.
talks about the
exactly,
Nephilim as
it's
well.
removed from the Bible for a reason. So if you're going to talk about things as a Christian, it's really important that we don't lean onto those conspiracies.
But just because that Enoch talks about it, it doesn't
please.
disregard the
Could I hold on?
truth.
Hold on,
Right,
Vivi.
but you can lead as a
Wait.
Christian, and if you've gone to church and you since your childhood, or you have a very strong faith in God and a very strong relationship, and you're looking into these books, that's fine. If God is saying it's okay.
Childhood, nah, I used to be atheist actually, but
Hey guys, I think she's just saying for edifying purposes, let's make sure we're speaking truth and backing it with truth.
Exactly.
Okay, so
the verse that I was referring to for Jesus speaking is in Matthew chapter 25, and it starts in verse 36, and it says, "But about that day and hour no one knows, neither the angels of heaven nor the Son, only the Father.
That's the second
But
commandment.
as for the days of Noah, were, so will the coming of the Son of Man. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day Noah entered the ark, and they knew nothing until the flood came and swept them away. So too will the coming of the Son of Man." So Jesus is explaining how when Noah went into the flood, or when the flood happened, and Noah went into the ark, that until the flood came, the people around had no idea. So Jesus is saying that Noah did not go out to warn anyone about the flood. It's just Noah was told to build the ark and to go into
Can we
it.
go over what verse of that specifically?
Yeah, it's in Matthew chapter 25. Sorry about my voice, guys. I've been over getting
No,
sick,
you're fine.
so
I
it's a
hope you
bit
get better. But what verse was that? I can't hear you.
it's in Matthew 25, starting in 36.
36? Okay, let me go over real quick.
Thanks for the money, Gun Sage.
I just want to, but while you look that up,
years and years. So you're saying that the people had no clue that there was this big, huge ark?
I have a question. Are you?
No, they could definitely see a giant ark, but if you recall that there was no rain there or anything by that point, so they didn't know what a flood would look like or what that would even mean for them.
Unfortunately, if it were me back in those days and I saw this big boat being made, I would definitely want to go and seek out and be like, hey, what's going on?
But let's be real. We did not live in that time, so we can't exactly say what we would do or what we would not do, because I'm not gonna lie to you. Back then, they have a different mindset. They have a different language.
Well, I think it's pretty logical to think that if you see this.
I think the host wants to say something.
Yeah. Do we have evidence of a flood?
Yeah.
I think the flood happened before some major like earth event. I'll take a look at it right now.
There's a lot of evidence to support great and grand floods throughout like the Mesopotamia area around that time period, but not a worldwide flood, because we have writings from cultures like China and stuff like that that are from that time period and show that there were other cultures that were alive and well while the supposed worldwide flood was happening.
We do have evidence of
No one has found the ark as of 2021. The Christian Science Institute has agreed that we have not found the ark.
Atheists, they have actually found the ark in the Red Sea.
Wait, you guys, let's talk one at a time, please. Come on.
They did not find the ark in the Red Sea.
That was a new one. I haven't heard that one yet.
No, I've never heard of anyone saying that the ark was found in the Red Sea.
You guys, just talk one at a time.
Hey, there's 7 people talking at one time. Do we understand this? There's like 7 people talking at one time.
Come on, you guys, let's be civil.
I just wanted to address the alleged conspiracy and the lack of canonization of scripture when we talk about the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and other extra biblical texts.
Yeah, because there's a lot of proof showing that those books aren't canon.
Guys, I want somebody to give me evidence of a global flood.
Oh, the Bible is a history book, so
It is
You'll
not.
have to prove that.
it is history.
A
You'll have to
history
prove
book?
that.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before we get into
The
this,
Bible's a
so
history book?
It is a history
wait,
book.
all right, let me
What
rephrase what you're
actually
saying.
happened?
Wait,
Okay,
hold on.
Can I see the question, host?
Archaeologists
I can't see the
actually
full
dug up
question.
giant bones. Okay,
You want to see the
Okay,
questions?
but before we talk about the Bible being a history book, we do have to understand that there are some different types of literature in the Bible. Not everything is meant to be taken literally. There are a lot of things that are meant to be taken literally. There are a lot of parables and there are a lot of different things that we're not supposed to take literally.
there's a
If
lot
you
of
have,
precepts. In order for you to understand the Bible, you have to have precepts. You have to have the concordance. And the way that people read the Bible nowadays, it gets them stuck. Like the fact that we were talking about the word Kill. In the Bible, taken is actually meant Kill. So people just don't really know how to interpret the Bible very well. But we learn it through precepts and the concordance.
you also have to take into account the context. So with the flood, if there is no proof that we haven't found yet, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I think that might be
Where's it
more than
at?
just I think it might not just be like a whole world thing. I think that it could also have some sort of meaning where it's kind of like an analogy of where the world was so wicked, but it's also something that could have also happened. So I think that you can possibly interpret it with different meanings just because I really haven't read the book of
Gibby,
So-
do you agree? Do you agree that we have no evidence of a global flood?
I have no idea.
So can I ask a question? We talking about the
Sure. But real quick, can I just say one thing real fast? I just looked it up, and the Institute for Creation Research, which is headed by Christian scientists and archaeologists, as well as even Answers in Genesis, admit that Noah's Ark has not been found, and that they do not have significant geological record for a global flood. So even the Christian leaders in this are admitting that no, we do not have this information.
Atheists, so in what time were giants existing in the Bible? Do you know the time?
They were mentioned in like Genesis because
so archaeologists actually just dug up giant bones, a giant swirl.
Oh my god.
I don't think that's true, but I'll go with even if it is. Let's say even if it is, so what? What do giants do to show that the claims of the Bible are
The
true?
reason why the flood actually happened was because the giants were going berserk. Okay, there was like all sorts of manner of wickedness, and actually,
No, I understand that from the story's point.
what?
But
I understand that from the story's point.
Okay.
My question though
So,
is that if it
when
is
you look
true
it up,
that we just
evidence
my question is that if we did just dig up some giant skeletons, what does that do to help prove that the claims of the Bible are true?
Boy, oh boy,
So,
man.
regardless of all of that, evidence says
now.
that a flood event may have occurred around the Mediterranean and the Black Sea around 7,500 years ago.
that's right.
Global-
Archaeologists have
Yeah,
shown
that's
A
that the
global
boat-shaped
flood?
formation is actually a natural formation, and that is an appearance by coincidental. Because
Abby, what's the source?
this is just searching multiple evidences, and I've put together.
Oh, no.
Now you gotta get the website.
no.
So, guys, can I ask a question? We're talking about the Hebrew God, right? We're talking about the Hebrew God.
The Abrahamic God.
God of Israel
Yes.
of the Bible, yes.
So,
That was the Holy Spirit attacking Sage. Abby.
Yeah.
Abby, am I supposed to take your word on this?
No, so I was saying this is multiple sources I've looked up. Right now, this is reading off of NoahArkEvidence.com, and then also just the different things on Google, like the first searches. I took a couple references and combined them together because
So on NoahEvidence.com, who were the people who conducted these studies?
these are peer studies that are done through researchers and people that have studied the location of the formations that I'm talking about.
Oh, this
And I was
paper is
saying-
peer reviewed.
Peer
What's
studies,
the name
yes.
of it?
NoahsArkEvidence.com, and then also mixing it with just Google searches in general. So what they're
Abby.
saying is that archaeologists have shown that boat-shaped formation is a natural formation in this structure. So they're saying, basically that the boat shape of the ark is there, but it's been basically broken down.
Shiloh.
This is happening in the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Some evidence shows that it's a local event. Some evidence shows that it's a worldwide event. But there is the archaeology formations that are there.
What's the evidence that shows that it's global?
It's the speculation of global, but otherwise,
Speculation.
yes.
So there's no evidence.
Well,
So
you can go to the Smithsonian Institute. They have
Noah's
images of
Ark has been
reputable.
found, y'all.
yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
Mackenzie.
I would
has
like your
found Noah's
source for
Ark.
where Noah's Ark has
Right,
been
it's
found.
not been found. Can we all just agree on that?
Okay, so I think the main point about that, or at least that I was trying to bring up for the flood, wasn't is the ark actually real? It's that if the flood was sent to get rid of the Nephilim, to get rid of the giants, beings, and stuff like that, and their descendants, then why would that be then used as an excuse for examples like 1 Samuel 15:3, when God says go off those kids? The excuse can't be used, well, their DNA was tainted with Nephilim blood, because that means that God failed during the flood. So I fail to see how that answer works, because then you're saying that God messed
So
up.
are you
no,
saying
So the
Muslims
Mediterranean and the Black Sea at
no,
that time,
because here's
7,500
Oh my
the
years
gosh,
ago.
one at a
argument.
time, one at a
I have no
time.
idea who's saying what.
So
Okay,
7,500
Oh my
years ago,
gosh,
you
one
guys.
at a time.
can I interject here for a minute, and then I'll just drop. All I'm gonna
Nah,
say to
I
you
think
is
we
this.
like drop you now.
All right,
So,
so no, continue. Go.
so what I was saying is 7,500 years ago, the Mediterranean and the Black Sea was what was renowned as worldwide. And that's why it's in our Bibles, because that's what they saw as a world flood. So, I don't know. I guess that's what I
There's
have
no
to say on that.
evidence of a world flood though, so who cares?
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Going based off of
That's
evidence,
what
yeah.
the understanding was at the time.
Oh, the Bible's not historical.
The Bible is historical. Okay, what does BC mean?
Maybe
Where,
we
where
also
did
have
you
to
get
take
that
into
term?
account
Wait, do you
that
think
What
BC is
does
recorded in the
BC
Bible?
what does BC mean, and where did we get the term?
Yeah, that's a
okay, but
Greek. That was a Roman association 300 years after like the supposed death of Christ.
Before, okay.
okay, but
So
going back to
apparently,
the
No,
ark.
before Christ was
we
born.
okay, right, before Christ, okay? And then there's after Christ. Okay, so
Did
first
you
of all,
realize that they
those
made up BC after all of that, right?
the
Like
fact that
it's
they
no
have
different
Before
made
than
that
Christ was
statement
born
it's
and
no
after
different
Christ
than
died.
Can I talk,
Santa
bro?
Claus, like you saying it's Santa Claus's birth. It's no different, right? Because it already happened in the past. It was passed down from mouth to mouth, right? And then they decided to change the dating system 300 years after the supposed death. So to use the AD BC argument is like
Either
it's like
way, dude. Either
it's hard
way,
kind of.
you guys would use a freaking science book that was made in modern day
No, we use
against the Bible
CE.
that
We
was
use
made in
Common Era.
2000.
We use BCE and we use CE before Common Era, right? That's what we use. We don't use BC AD in science.
Bro. So the argument that the Bible is historical is a dating mechanism? Are you serious?
Well, going back to
The reason why the Bible is historical is based off the events that took place within the Bible.
I have a question. If the
Caesar
Bible
is actually a real person. I mean,
if the Bible
Egypt-
if the Bible is historical, where's the Garden of Eden?
that's something that we have no. I
It's in
believe that
between.
was taken up. That was taken up by God.
So when
second
God
up.
made heaven and earth,
Hold on. Where was it taken up by God? Because there is a literal description of where the Garden of Eve was on earth.
Yeah,
It was taken out, Chad.
taken
Okay.
so that we would not become immortal.
Wait,
was
hold on.
taken out,
How was
Chad.
it taken out?
There's no scripture that says that the Garden of Eden was taken out. It talks about God hiding it via guarding it by angels,
so the
but doesn't say
Garden of
anything
Evil,
about the garden being taken up.
the Garden
was
of
taken
Eden.
from the earth so that we wouldn't be immortal.
Where's that scripture? Where's that passage?
See, that is true. I mean, you're right.
That passage is in Hebrews.
Where in Hebrews?
I just want to explain to you quick.
Well, no, no, no,
So,
no, 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 no. Don't obfuscate. Don't change this. Answer the question. Where in Hebrews?
Tap the
let me
screen,
look it up
chat.
quick.
Tap the
I just
screen.
wanted to
Tap the
speak a little
screen.
bit.
Hey, can we get 7K likes? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Y'all gotta at least tap the screen for me. I'm not bringing user up. Appreciate you, AK.
Is Caesar not in our history as well? Is he not in our history?
Do you know that a book can have things that comport with reality and not be deemed a historical book?
Wait, they can what?
No.
A book can have content that comports with reality. A book can say a tree exists in New Zealand, and that doesn't mean that the book is historical.
Okay,
So,
so what
so,
about our modern day books?
hmm?
What about our modern day books? And that means that same statement that you said would apply to the books that we use today as historical evidence.
Yeah, Vaughn, what's the criteria for something to be a historical book?
The criteria for it to be an historical book is if those
What would
people
you
actually
say it is?
existed in that time. If those people
Hmm?
actually existed. If those people actually existed. If that really happened.
Wait,
It's
if I
by
wait
a
a
bunch
book,
of
It
wait,
happened,
historical
wait, wait,
then it
wait,
would
wait,
be in
wait,
a
wait,
book,
wait,
right?
Vaughn, I have a question, Vaughn.
How else can we know what happened in our history if it had not
Hey,
been in a book?
hey,
because it was written
Vaughn.
down. History means that it was
Vaughn, if I
recorded.
write
Oh
a
my
book
gosh,
right
guys.
now,
Exactly.
shut the fuck up. If I write a book right now and says Donald Trump exists, and then a page later I say magical donkeys exist, is this book historical?
No, that would just be recorded.
You said no?
You said what now? What was your whole say that again?
If I write a book that says Donald Trump exists, which is true, and a page after that I say magical donkeys exist, is the book historical?
Can you tell me what about the Bible tells you it's not true?
Answer the
Kylo.
question.
I have a
How
question.
about this? I'll ask you then. What
Oh, Vaughn, how about you answer the question?
Okay, I'm asking you the question because I
And
don't have it. How about
Vaughn,
this? I don't know.
Vaughn.
I don't know. Is that better for you?
Okay.
Okay.
Caleb,
Well,
what
I
would
mean,
you
based off
say?
of that, you could
Oh
say
my
it's half right and half wrong,
Lanta.
but
Hey, what's
I'm
the question?
Lanta.
Sorry.
I'll answer the question.
Kylo,
The
what
question
would you
is,
say your definition of a or your requirements for a book to be historical? What would you
No,
say?
no, no, I want to answer the guy's what he was saying. What was the question?
no, you're actually a menace. I'm back. It's like, it's too early for you, bro. I'm sorry, back. It's too early for you.
So, you guys, I was wrong when I talked about
Back.
Hebrews.
I'm dodging you, back. I'm dodging you, okay? It's too early.
So I was wrong when I said that Hebrews was what talked about.
I don't know what just happened there. Oh, Tuski dropped.
Kylo, what are your requirements for a book to be considered historical?
The total content in its totality comports with reality, and it
What's
can be
not real for you, though?
and it can be verified.
Okay.
Then I guess what you said about Trump is true then, huh? I guess your book about Trump and the donkeys would be true then. And it would be a
No,
historical book, right?
because
Because people would be able to verify that Trump actually existed.
you
But
forgot.
he's saying that the following statement would also have to be true.
Thank you.
I disagree.
Like at the end of the day, now we're just getting down to like being like, I mean, I think at this point it's just like where you have to
No,
agree to
Kylo,
disagree.
do you understand that the Bible is not written by God, but his prophecies and the people that follow him?
Actually, the Bible
No.
was written by God.
It was written by people inspired by God.
Yes.
No, it
People
was
that
written
heard God
by
and
It
knew
was
God.
not written. God didn't pick up a pen and write it.
I
Right.
understand that. But he was given, God gave them the Holy
Right.
Spirit and the gumption.
Right.
to
So
write.
yes, it was
No.
written by God in the sense that it was inspired by
it
God.
wasn't.
Right.
No, it wasn't. Because your God
It was
doesn't
people that
exist.
knew God and that
The
saw
people
his
who
works.
did the writing with their hands and the pen were people inspired by God.
God doesn't exist.
But
So let me ask you a question. So
haven't we
you said that
established that
that
your
it
God
doesn't
doesn't
exist.
your God doesn't exist? I thought we
Kylo, you
established
can
that.
The
never
commandments that were
make me feel my God doesn't exist because I've felt him
the
personally.
commandments were written with what? The finger of God, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. So
The
God.
commandments were written by the commands of God, not by his hand.
The,
Y'all, now we're just arguing
yeah,
each
but that
other.
doesn't mean that the Bible itself was written by God
Now
the,
we're
the way
just
that the
arguing
tablets
each
or the law
other.
was.
No, the commandments were not written by God's hand. They were written by the commands of him. Peter was called to
I
write on
gotta
the
let up
tablet,
certain people, bro.
and
Yeah, Abby,
that's what
Abby, Abby,
happened.
Abby.
Yes.
First, the next thing I want you to do is tell me the method you utilized to come to the conclusion that this book was written by something divine.
You know what?
Because everybody in our
Wait,
world, this is only
was
deemed the
I
best
can answer that if you'd
Christian
like.
book
No, I can tell
alive.
you, Kylo. I grew up in a church that was very like evangelical, and it was a little bit crazy for a little kid to see, like beyond something, and it kind of turned me away from the church. And once I was like 16, 17, and I had gone through my very first breakup, and I went back into a church that wasn't so
Abby,
crazy.
you're not giving a method. You're not giving a
But
method.
this is my method because
I don't
it's how
need
my spirit felt.
I don't need context. I just want the method you
He's not
utilize.
asking for testimony. He wants evidence.
Give me the method. What are the requirements to come to this conclusion?
So the method I have used is 1, the Bible doesn't contradict itself. 2, there are many things that are historically accurate about the Bible. There are also, like you said though, Kylo, there are also things that you do have to just have faith in for. 3, I already talked to you about the whole intelligent
This is so.
design
Wait.
equals
So
intelligent creator thing.
are you saying that if a book is
4,
consistent, and it's historical, that it
did
must
you
be
want to hear my
divine?
method or no?
You should have gave it then.
I think if you were to read,
Abby, wait, because nobody's giving
Anyways,
giving a method.
I'm
I
trying.
think having the no contradictions being a point of your methodology is very
So,
important. But I
okay.
think that if you
Did
were
you
to
want
do
to hear
that,
my
you would see
method?
that the Bible does hold contradictions.
So,
So this
oh
can't be a part of
goodness
your methodology.
gracious. I would just have to disagree with you then that the Bible does not hold contradictions. However, anyways, that is only one part of my method. There are multiple parts of the method that I have used. Now, do I think that this is the method that works for everybody or that everybody has to use? No. But I've already talked to you about intelligent design exists, which points to an intelligent designer. 2, there were many eyewitnesses who were willing to give up their life, which tells me that it's true. 3, like I said,
It doesn't though.
doesn't contradict itself for historical
Okay.
context. At the end of the day, though, I can give you my method and I can give you all of that. But if what you are searching for is concrete evidence that you can hold in your hands, if you're looking to like see God face to face, I can't give you that.
Yeah,
I
no, but
can't.
that's not what I asked for. So your method to verify that the book is divine is that it has no contradictions. It's historically accurate, and people were willing to unalive for the claim. So if we apply these same three
Along with
rules,
others.
yeah. So
Those are some of them. Sure.
how does a book not containing contradictions lead to a God writing that book?
Right. It doesn't in and of itself. No.
Yeah, sure it doesn't. And how does a book that makes people want to unalive for it
Yeah,
lead
none of
to
them, we can sit here and walk through all of those. None of those point
so
directly to a
why the
God
fuck would you give them?
because
I'm sorry. Yes. Don't use vulgar language towards you. Give me a method
but
where
that's what I'm telling you. I can sit here and give you things that point to the possibility of God existing. I can't give you anything that proves his existence.
I agree.
Well, you haven't even shown us the possibility.
Or you know what? It's so funny. You guys are asking all these. Oh, give me evidence. What is your theory of evolution? And what is your theory and your evidence where the theory of evolution is real? What's your where's your evidence?
I thought the background was specifically talking about
Yeah, like
Christianity. Is that not the topic we're
Oh,
talking
now you
about?
want to
So we're dissecting the Christian claims,
Vaughn,
the biblical claims, and the
Vaughn,
worldview.
before
So
you start moving the
I agree.
goalposts,
I think we all agree that and like I just said, I don't, I do not think that I can give you the evidence that y'all are looking for. However, I don't agree
They
that
can't give us the evidence that they are looking for.
I don't agree that you can dispute biblical claims.
I agree.
That's where we disagree.
what do you mean you can't dispute them?
Well, the atheistic something or other. I can't see your full name, but he was like, "Well,
Yeah, you can just call me AP.
It looks
okay."
like Joe Black.
You said something just a second ago. Now I don't even remember what you said, but you said something about like, "Oh, we're dissecting and disproving the Bible." I agree
No,
that I
no, no, no,
can't.
no. I never said we're dissecting and disproving. I said we're dissecting and discussing.
Oh, okay. And then I misunderstood because I was going to say that's where I disagree. I don't think you can disprove the Bible.
Wait, so we do have a concession. We do have a concession that there is no tangible, substantial, empirical or logical
I would
argument.
disagree with you there. There is logical.
Then give it.
Yeah, intelligent design points to an intelligent creator.
Perfect. Now let's break this argument down. So, substantiate this presupposition that the universe was designed.
What do you mean?
You said intelligent design requires a designer, and I'm assuming that you're referring to the universe being designed, correct?
No, I'm talking about intelligent design. Us as humans, we are intelligent design, not the universe, humans.
Whatever, sure. So prove that.
So we have DNA, which is a code, like I said earlier. It's a code because it has to be read and interpreted by our brains. Therefore, it's intelligent design, which couldn't have come from something that wasn't intelligent itself.
Can we agree that
Can I ask a clarifying question real quick?
Venus, why?
You said it sounds like you wanted to like put aside the universe and all that stuff too, and only focus on the humans being the creation.
No, I think it's all
does
creation.
Does that also exclude animals and stuff? Are we excluding that as well? Because animals have DNA,
right.
plants have DNA.
Yeah, I think it all points to everything with DNA. Just like plants,
so we are talking about
plants have DNA.
Wait.
Yeah, I think everything was created. I think everything has intelligent design. I think that it's easier to explain it to people who don't already see that with humans.
Can you
yes, go ahead.
Can you give me the definition of code? I want to make sure I understand.
I mean, I probably can't give you like the definition from the dictionary, but something that has to be like read, interpreted, understood, I would say.
Is it necessary that code must be read?
No.
Okay, so why is it the case that we have DNA and there's a creator? Because you just said it doesn't have to be read.
I don't see how those really go together. Because here's what I'm saying. Okay, so just like in the sense that we would, I'm sure, all agree that if I handed you a children's book and said this book fell together, the colors fell out of the sky and landed on the pages, and then let me finish.
Bro, because
it bound itself together, and then all of the letters came together to form words, and then all of the punctuation threw itself on there. I think we would all agree that that's illogical, right?
Man, this is disanalogous.
I disagree that that's
but would we all agree that that's illogical?
No.
You would disagree that that's illogical?
Yeah,
I would agree.
Okay, why would you disagree that that's illogical?
There's no contradiction.
My question would be: is God logical or is he beyond logical?
Yeah, there's no P and not P. It doesn't violate any law of identity.
No, what I'm asking is, do you think that it's logical to sit here and be like, this book
Might not
just
be
fell
practical.
together? Or
Might
do you
not be
think that the
practical,
logical
but
thing is, okay, the book is here in my hands, so it had to be created by something that knew how to form sentences and add
you know what
punctuation and
logical
X, Y, and
means?
Z?
When you say it's not logical, what do you say?
I wasn't even necessarily saying it's not logical. I don't think it is. I'm asking if we would all agree that that's not logical.
No, we don't. Like he just said, you got to give the contradiction.
The contradiction.
Yeah, if it's illogical, there's going to be a contradiction to that statement. So what is it?
Well, I would argue that the logical theory of how that book came together is something that knew.
So you're not gonna answer. You're not gonna give the P and not P, are you?
The
Wait, but how
what?
can how can
I don't
being
understand what you're asking. I'd love to
You can
answer, but I
give
don't know what you're
notes.
asking.
Dang.
You made the assertion that it's illogical. Do you know what that means?
It doesn't make any sense.
For something to be illogical means that there's going to be a contradiction entailed. Do you know what a contradiction is?
Okay, well then I'll retract my statement. Does that make y'all happy? Do you think it makes sense to sit here and say that a book just put itself together, fell together out of the sky?
Yeah, like Six said, it's probably improbable. But once again, we know books are created by humans.
Right.
Now
Why do we know that? Why do we know that?
Yeah, because we can observe it. And
No.
you're making we observe books being created by humans.
Do you watch every book get
and
made?
you're making the presupposition.
Do you watch
You're making
books?
the presupposition that humans are created.
No,
by
I'm asking
something
a question. See, I'm
external.
trying
what are
to break
humans
it down
created
with
by
you.
though?
So
Can I just ask what are humans created by then? If not God, then what?
Yeah, you're just presupposing.
We're not created.
let's get away from that.
creation is an assumption.
I'm really trying to build a foundation here. If you guys would let me.
The atheistic defender just joined. Okay. Welcome, Venus.
Love the intro. Thank you.
So can you please enlighten the class on the problem, Sir Venus?
Well, the problem is you're presupposing that everything was created, silly. You can't make that assumption until you prove it. Otherwise, we have reason to believe that it was probably evolution because we have evidence for that. Have a look at the fossil record and the genetic similarities between the different species.
Is evolution not a theory?
Oh my!
It's a scientific theory. A scientific theory is different than your general hypothesis.
So a theory
General hypothesis is what us as the general public would think is, I have the opinion that X will happen and that this is the way something works. Whereas a scientific theory has so much data and evidence behind it to back it and has been held with so much criticism in the scientific community, and it's the only thing that holds still.
Okay, I didn't hear not one word. Go ahead and say that again, atheist.
Sure. The difference between a scientific theory and what we would call a general theory is actually a hypothesis. So we're making an opinionated guess and stuff like that, saying, I think that the process is X, Y, Z. A scientific theory is when there is so much evidence and scientific backing for that position, and it has been scrutinized on the world stage in the scientific community, and it has still held strong, and so therefore it holds the most evidence. It is the closest to fact that we can get.
If it's called a scientific theory, then that means that it's not actually a fact, right?
Did you just not listen?
Hey Venus, I really love your accent, sweetheart, but just because your accent sounds smart doesn't make you smart.
It's not the same thing. Listen to him. Theory, when we're talking about science, is the highest regard. It is fact. Germ theory, right? We don't question germs. It's called germ theory, okay? Theory, just listen. I don't want to mute you. Please just listen. Theory means that it's backed by evidence. Hypothesis is what you're talking about when you say theory. Scientific theory and the word theory aren't the same thing. The word theory, like he said, just refers to a hypothesis, which means like speculation or a guess. But
Exactly.
yeah, but that's not the same thing. That's the point.
That's that's
No,
how
it's
you feel.
not. A scientific theory is different. I'm sorry, but you're just, please
No,
listen
Vaughn,
before
like
you jump
Vaughn,
to
you have
conclusions.
to here, Vaughn. If you don't believe what they're saying to be true, like you have Google, just go search up the difference. Vaughn, you're actually wrong in this situation.
No, she's not
Yes,
wrong.
Unfortunately,
She
please. No,
said it's not a
never
fact,
take anything
and
that
it's
I
not a
say
fact. It's
as
not.
factual. Please look it up.
Fredo,
I
shut
encourage everyone to
The
please
only
look it
thing
up.
that
And but what I'm telling you is something that I have looked up myself. It was something I had to change my mind on because I saw the definitions and how it's actually used. And I encourage you to please go ahead, look it up, and do the same.
okay. Thanks for your encouragement, and I also encourage you to eat broccoli with everything that you eat.
Hey, can I ask a
I do
question
eat
though?
broccoli, but all right.
Can I ask a question? Is God a spiritual God or a carnal one?
He's definitely spiritual.
All right. So then,
it's like a
what's your take on
jumping.
spiritual?
What do you say, Jay?
No, stop. We're just jumping all over the place.
Oh,
Yeah.
University, can I just say, Arizona University study shows that scientific theories are not facts.
thank you.
Thank you.
Fredo, what is a scientific
The fact
theory?
that it says theory at the
I
end of
know
it
what a
states it
scientific
all
theory is, but
anyway.
she said specifically it
Fredo,
wasn't fact. No, hang on. We're not gonna straw man me again. She said it wasn't a fact, and then Venus said you don't know what you're talking about. The scientific
It
theory.
is a fact, you fool.
No,
Okay,
I
let him
just told you
finish.
the study.
Let's.
I just showed you the
Hey,
study.
hey,
Get me on the
hey, hey,
screen.
hey.
Put me up on
Can
screen.
can I say one?
guys,
All
stop.
of these
I don't want
just,
to mute people. I don't want to mute people. So here's what
it's
we'll do.
crazy to me.
Here's what
I
we'll
just want to
do.
say one thing.
I
Just
got you, Mackenzie, but I want to allow Venus to defend her position. I don't want to mute people. So Fredo was saying that Venus is lying. I'm going to allow Venus to defend the position, and then I'll let you, say whatever you want to say after that.
a scientific theory is a well-supported explanation of natural phenomenon that is based on repeated observation and experimentation, right? So that would mean that the things that are regarded in a scientific theory are factual because a fact is simply an observation that we can make or something that comports with reality, right? So it is a fact, Fredo. It's the definition. Please
Okay, so
open
what is
your
the
mind.
fact? What is
Just
the
Okay,
relax. Oh
I'll
my
give
Oh
God.
my
you.
You're
gosh,
muted and you're
guys,
muted.
please,
And you're muted
please.
too. I've just read the
Wait, I thought you were wanting our answers. I'm
No,
sorry.
I didn't ask you a question.
Let's get the university
Oh, so you're just listening
I
explanation,
didn't
to me.
ask you a
Venus.
question.
So
I just told
to
you
put it
the
very simply,
definition
to put it very
of
simply,
what a scientific theory
the
is.
scientific theory is a collection of factual
We'll pull it up.
statements
I'll
and
pull
data
it up.
points, and putting that together, they show what we can take this to mean.
Theories
It's not saying that.
Theories never become facts.
Let Venus
Instead, scientific
God.
theories
explain
are
himself.
created from large collections of
explain
facts. Theories such as
Guys.
gravity, natural selection, evolution, and global warming aren't random guesses
Yep.
or personal
Fredo, you're
opinions.
not understanding what we're
They're
saying.
time-tested explanations for why we observe the things we do.
So
They never
my
become
question,
facts.
so
They
my
never
question is, what were
become
the
facts.
observations?
You're misunderstanding what we're saying, Fredo.
So my question is, what were the observations of the Big Bang Theory? Could anyone explain?
Have a look at cosmic microwave background radiation.
No.
Okay,
And
so
the
basically you're
I
saying
think
that
it's
the
more
Earth
interesting to
was
explain
created
the
by
never
a
become
big
mechanism that
facts.
God
jolt of
used.
radiation.
Do you
Okay,
I
guys
think
basically.
think?
it's more
You put
interesting
popcorn in the
for you.
microwave and it pops, and then boom,
No,
there's an
honey.
Earth.
I think it's more
No.
interesting
Hey
for you to
guys,
explain the mechanism that God
hey
used
guys.
to
I just
vocally
have one
invoke all
question.
of the things. I'm sorry, I was speaking, but I think it's more interesting if Vaughn can give us the mechanism
Oh my
that God
god.
used to invoke all things with just his voice. I think that's more interesting.
That is interesting.
I'm wondering. I just have one question. I'm just wondering if, as grown adults, we could all respectfully converse and allow everybody to speak
Can I get
without
back to you?
interrupting each other, because I haven't even been able to hear any single one of your guys' arguments because you're all yelling over each other.
Vaughn,
Big screen.
yeah, Vaughn, would you like to read this? I got you. I'll make us both.
Oh, I have the exact same thing.
Nice. A scientific
Theories
theory
are made from facts.
is a well-substantiated explanation of aspect the natural
Of some
based on
aspect. Can we read it all?
based on a body of facts that have been repeatedly confirmed through observation and experimentation. So Vaughn, when you conflate a theory to a hypothesis, a scientific theory to a hypothesis, we're just showing you that they're not synonymous.
Okay, thank you.
Based on a body of facts. Okay. So now that that's out the way.
Maybe you misunderstood me, Fredo. It's not one singular fact in of itself, but as I said, it's based off of facts, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Fredo doesn't understand what we were saying.
I mean, it's not that hard. Just talk.
I accept that you corrected
Fredo,
yourself. I accept that you corrected
I
yourself.
didn't correct myself. You misunderstood
She
me.
didn't correct herself now.
Yeah, you're the only one who misunderstood me, dude.
No, Fredo, that's what I was trying to say 5 minutes ago. You were misunderstanding what we were saying.
No, because Vander said that theories are not facts, right? And then Venus,
they're not.
Venus said, no, you're wrong. Tell me you didn't say that. You said you're wrong.
Well, when she said they're not facts, she means that they're
no, theories are not facts. They're
not
an
facts.
accumulation of information or factual information.
Why are you trying to win off of semantics?
No,
That's
because the
you
reality
look very,
is
very pathetic, to be honest.
No, because we understand that theories are proven wrong. Because we understand.
Dude, you look very, very pathetic.
Unfortunately, Fredo, unfortunately, we just pulled the definitions up, and this was pointed towards Vaughn, and she just read it herself. So, like, I don't know what you continuously trying to argue that these are not based on facts, or that these theories are not facts, when we just fucking read it.
Guys,
Okay, can I speak? Can I speak for a second before getting muted every time? So, we understand that theories have been proven wrong many, 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 many times.
Can we just kick him?
Hang on.
Maybe
Am
just
I
let
wrong?
him talk.
Yeah, am I wrong? Have theories, scientific theories, been proven wrong?
I feel like a hypothesis has been proven wrong, or a
Okay, let's
conclusion.
not talk amongst ourselves. Let's get the facts. I guarantee you, there's been many theories, scientific theories, that have been proven wrong. Many. And I'll show you right now. I'll show you right now. Scientific theories.
Guys, one at a time, please.
I'll show you scientific theories that have been proven wrong.
What do you think you're doing,
One at a time.
So who was the observer of Earth being created, and who actually sat down and made those hypotheses and theories about Earth being created? Could you let me know that?
Well, by that logic, you wouldn't have anybody. You wouldn't even know Earth was created in general.
Okay, then. So you guys then cannot say, okay, well, how do you know God exists? And you guys don't even know how the Earth.
Wait, are you a person who believes God exists?
Questions
are conflated. Like,
Really quickly, at this point, I don't even know who is on what side.
Why are you just complaining all the time?
I believe God exists. I don't believe the Christian God is the one and only true God. Simple.
So who's your God?
God in general. There is no name for God.
Oh, so he's just what do you mean?
Well, God isn't a he. God is a God. Simple.
Can I ask, what is God to
is
you?
a dog. He's a cat too. What the heck?
God is.
Can I ask what is God,
God is-
then? Because it doesn't seem to match what the biblical Christian God is.
God is the creator.
Can I get big screen? I want to show you the 10 scientific theories that are debunked.
God is the creator.
Bro, why
He
are we
is the
still
one.
entertaining this? This is like.
Okay.
Wait,
So
what is
scientific theory
Everyone
one.
says that science is infallible. Everyone knows science isn't infallible, so I don't know.
Oh, so now you said that scientific theories
Ooh.
weren't proven wrong.
No.
Now you're
No,
lying.
You know
she
what?
didn't.
Thank
Why
you.
is he?
Wait, Kylo,
Okay,
he's just lying. Why do we have him
to
up
be
here?
honest, he's being like.
Thank you, Fredo, for that. I appreciate that. They love
Yeah,
Google.
so A scientific theory aims to explain why a natural phenomena happens. Their explanation can be wrong. If they say, yeah, phrenology is a pseudoscience, everyone knows that. Phrenology wasn't actually even based off of any facts, right? But anyways, the whole point is we know that an explanation for something can be wrong. Let's just say, oh, the moon rises and sets because of yada yada gravity. But what if we find out tomorrow that there's a magical angel pushing the moon? Well, I guess even though we assumed it was gravity, we would be wrong. That's what you're trying to say. But the fact that we observe the moon moving would be the fact, and that is not something that is incorrect. The conclusion that we draw from that is based off of what we think happens, right? That can be wrong. But the actual observation cannot. Science is not infallible. It just tries to give you the best explanation for why something happens, right? That can be wrong. There's pseudosciences all the time, right? Don't see a problem.
Okay, so that means
Not talking about pseudosciences, we're talking about
phrenology, which is what you pulled up, is a pseudoscience. Everyone knows that. Phrenology is literally a pseudoscience, right? That's what they use to justify black people, so and so not being considered human.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know what phrenology means. I'm gonna be honest with you when you say that.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want me to give you a definition?
Yes, please. I'm willing to learn. Yeah.
I don't want to paraphrase for you, but I do know it is the study that involves measuring the bumps on a person's skull to predict their mental traits and character. That's what they did for black people.
That's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, it's what they did during slavery, and that is obviously a pseudoscience.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So that's absurd.
And do you want me to tell you how that would be a wrong theory? Because phrenology tries to
I already
say,
know it's crap. I mean, the same way they used to drill holes in people's heads to take away depression. I mean,
yeah. So the observation would be bumps in the skull. The conclusion would be mental traits. That would be wrong. The observation, bumps in the skull, is not wrong. That's something we can see. The conclusion they drew is wrong. The conclusion they drew from the fact would be what they consider a theory, right? But the standards for theories have changed. Now it needs to be peer reviewed. Now it needs to be, agreed upon. It needs to be falsified. It's changed. Old science is not as efficient as the new scientific method.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we can't look back thousands and trillions of years.
Well, someone needs to tell Fredo that so we stop bringing up old articles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Who is on what side of this? Because I don't know. I mean, I know that
I would hope it would be obvious that I am an atheist.
And then atheist is an atheist. And then Venus, I'm assuming you're an atheist as well. The other two of you, what's up?
I believe in the God of the Bible, the God of Israel. I believe
in
Christ
God
as
in
well.
general.
But a lot of people debate whether his name is Jesus or not. Either way, the God of the Bible, that's who I believe.
Okay,
So
Rick, do you believe in the God of the Holy Bible, the Christian Bible?
No, ma'am. I believe God.
Okay.
And also, it doesn't
Nick,
say.
what do you believe in?
I think that the Christian God is impossible, and I currently have no beliefs in any gods.
Okay, so we've got like 5 atheists up here and two biblical believing.
So, can I ask every biblical believer right quick?
Yeah.
So, I believe that there are surgods, like as in, the things we know, Zeus, etc. So, did you know Yeshua, right, or Yahweh, was originally a Canaanite? He was a Canaanite god, right?
Absolutely.
So long ago, he was a surgod.
Slee, that I'm not gonna lie. Like, I understand that you're trying to give them some background information, but the objective here is to demonstrate that any of these fucking gods exist, and whether this god be a war god or not, we really don't care about. Now, if you can demonstrate this god exists, and then you want to prove that he's a war god, by all means. But until you demonstrate any supernatural being exists, I don't want to engage in that type of dialect.
Can I say that the only way that... Go ahead. I'm sorry, guy. Go ahead.
What, Kyla? What's your background with religion, and what made you feel like God doesn't exist? Oh, I don't think he's here. So, can any other atheist on the panel let me know their background? Like, why do you believe God doesn't exist?
Yeah, I can't speak for any other atheist on this. I can only speak for myself. I do not hold the position that God does not exist. I just don't currently believe in any gods, and so therefore that makes me an atheist.
Oh, you're
So,
still workable.
Okay,
Kylo,
I'm back.
do you hold the same belief that
No, yeah, it's for 1,000%. It's 1,000% factual that the Christian God does not exist. I'm
so
not.
Oh, I think
so
that you can, if you can pinpoint certain gods and
Yeah,
say, we can say that God for sure doesn't
and the
exist.
Christian God falls
Oh,
into that.
what?
Different to say like God.
Wait,
so
what about
All
the
right.
wait? You guys are just wait. Why are you guys just outlawing
Hey,
the
y'all.
Christian God and not the like the Buddhist God or the?
Oh, I didn't outlaw the Christian God. I think the host did, but
Buddhism
I did
doesn't
not.
follow a
I
god.
think that we can outlaw specific versions of the Christian God, but there are so many
The
different
Christian God. That's
ways that
fun.
people see
All
him,
right.
so it really depends.
So technically, right, what I'm hearing from Kylo and atheistic, right? Wait, hold on, Kylo, because I didn't get your opinion. Do you believe, right? Like, what made you stop believing in God in general?
Or did you ever?
It is just a lack of evidence.
Lack of evidence.
Okay, so you're more of a scientific person, as in, show me, then I'll believe, correct?
I have no compelling reason to believe in some supernatural deity.
So, do you believe that God is supposed to? Oh,
I'm sorry.
no,
What'd
you're
you say?
good, man. Do you believe that God is supposed to be like an all-knowing being who knows what you're doing and punishes you for sin, etc. This, right, and should give you what you want if you do good?
I don't believe that if you just define, like, I guess it's going to depend on your semantics. When someone says God, people have different definitions. I don't believe it's necessary that a God is all knowing. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't believe it's necessary that God must be all knowing.
Okay.
But
So,
okay, so look, the Christian God is supposed to be all knowing, all loving, and all powerful. And based on that definition, by contradiction, I hold the position that the God doesn't exist.
as in, okay. So I think because what I believe is God is not a being in general. God is God. It's just like a state of what you are and where you're at. You know what I mean? So God is everything except what we created. So God is not the house I'm in, but the dirt I stand on, right? So if we go by that meaning, right, then technically you have to look at what everything is made of. It's made of matter, and matter can't come from nowhere, right? The theory that nothing can come from something is just very illogical, correct? Okay, so nothing can't come from something. So we obviously had to be created by something. And to
How
be
come when
created,
I literally gave that argument and said it was illogical, you were like, "What's logic mean?"
Wait, no. Apparently, if we
Like, huh?
put the
This
Earth
is
in the microwave, then
I literally gave
Guys,
a very similar
so. I think this
argument,
is
and
as
you were like,
far
"Are you guys
as we
define
can
logic?"
go with.
guys,
well, let's
this
talk one at a
doesn't.
time.
Yeah, so it doesn't follow. It can be the case that things can exist eternally. Yeah.
But has Earth
What?
existed eternally?
I asked you a question.
What was the
Is
question?
can it be the case that things exist eternally?
Yes.
Okay. So when he says it's necessary that we're created. I don't see how that's the case.
So,
Because we're not eternal beings.
Wait, so are we comprised of energy?
Our souls are eternal, but our bodies aren't.
Souls. Look, are we comprised of energy?
yes, we are comprised of energy.
Can energy be created?
Yeah.
How?
What do you mean? Energy has to be born from something. Like, it goes
Prove
with
it.
the logic that nothing can be born from something, right?
Wait, so does that same logic apply to your God?
Okay, no, right?
So you're special pleading.
No, because that's why God is God. God wasn't created. God has just always been.
So it's impossible for the universe to be eternal, but it is possible for God to be eternal.
Yes.
Yeah, give me the symmetry breaker there.
So if you're looking at it right, and you say, so do you believe in evolution, right? You believe in evolution.
That's irrelevant.
No, but it also correlates because at the end of the day, we as other than Europeans, right? We don't correlate. We don't have any
This
features.
guy has his hand up. What the fuck?
I like him, honestly. We
That's
should all do
crazy.
that.
We don't have any
Right, raise
features.
your hand if you want to talk.
We don't have any
Amen.
features biologically or genetically that push us towards to believe that evolution is real. There's just nothing that shows it.
Not true. We have a
Okay, so
recurrent laryngeal nerve. We have a tailbone. We have like a similar structure in our phalanges, metacarpals. We have a similar digestive system. We have a similar brain structure. We have similar genetic diseases that can inhibit us. We have
how many stomachs
I
does an
have a
elephant
question
have,
for
right?
the people who do believe in evolution
Hold
here.
on, sorry. So I just gave you similarities that would suggest, evolution, as well
But
as
that would mean we're similar to a lot more animals, right?
We are animals. Hello?
So, okay, we are animals, right? But that would mean we're similar to more animals than just apes.
So wait, can I
Yeah.
understand?
Oh wait, guys.
I have
If
a question.
isn't evolution mean like ever changing? So how come we're not
I have a
witnessing an
question.
ape turn into a human right now?
Because it takes millions of years.
Oh,
and
girl,
I have a question.
Hold
I
on.
have a question.
Evolution is continual.
Hold on, speak one at a time.
Relax. I will answer both of your questions. How come we don't see apes turning into humans? When you say apes, well, we're technically great apes. Look at the definition of a great ape.
Either way, evolution means ever
I
changing.
have another question. Relax. We are technically still great apes, but we don't see people turning into apes because that is a process that takes like millions of years, right?
So
As
why
well
are
as we do see things evolving today as well. We see different forms of bacteria evolving. We see viruses evolving.
Bacteria, Dave. We're talking about actual animals
but that's
turning
the whole
into
point.
humans, or
You're
humans
not
turning into
listening.
animals.
You're not
Hold on,
listening.
y'all. Let her talk.
We're
Give her
made
a
up
minute.
of those cells. Bacteria are prokaryotic cells. We have prokaryotic cells in us, right? These things are evolving that make us up. We are also evolving. We have Homo erectus and Homo habilis fossils as well, and they have genetic matches to ours, right? We know these were our ancestors.
Okay, so my question
Explain that to you a lot of ancestors if you'd like.
Can I ask my question at least?
Okay, because she's not really saying anything. So.
Okay. So I understand what you're saying. I understand that your argument is that things are still evolving around us. Got that. Let's go back to the we don't see people evolving from apes because it takes millions of years. I understand that that's your argument. However, I'm curious as to why we wouldn't be seeing apes that started evolving millions of years ago turning into humans now.
Evolution happens in order for one to survive in their natural environment. The early Earth environment is not the same as it is today that would require those apes to possess such mutations.
So did at some point
And we do
stop,
see apes, we do see apes still evolving to this very day, right?
but not
Apes
into
are
human.
still evolving as well. But the whole point is, it is for diversity, right? To survive different environments. We are
My
already...
question would be so did at some point we stop evolving from apes to humans?
No, you never stop evolving, and you'll never... Do you know what the law of...
I understand that. That's not what I'm asking.
Okay,
That's not
do
my
you know what the-
question.
Okay, you're not listening. I'm trying to educate you.
You're not answering the
Do
question.
you know what the law... Okay, I am answering your question, but you don't seem to know anything about evolutionary biology. Do you know what the law of phylogeny is? You never stop being your ancestor. If your ancestor is a eukaryotic cell, you don't turn from a eukaryotic cell. If your ancestor is an ape, you don't stop being an ape.
I
right?
know.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I cannot
I'm not, I, like I said, I understand what you're saying about evolution. I understand that you're saying, oh, well, we started from apes and now we're still apes. Gotcha. So are you saying that at some point we were apes in the sense that we were like monkey form apes, and then now we're all
Monkey
human
form
apes,
apes.
and we're
Monkey form apes are not a thing. Monkeys and apes are
right.
different
Okay.
species.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But they're ever evolving, so you
Could
know,
I
you never
maybe?
know. We
Okay.
could be in there
Could I
somewhere.
maybe? Yeah. All right. I'm not talking about monkey apes as in they're the same. Maybe that was a bad way to describe it. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm asking, are you saying that, because I get that you're saying we are still apes and we're still evolving. I understand that you're saying that. That's fine. However, I'm curious as to, do you believe that we started as apes, like looking like the apes that we would go to the zoo today and see, and then now we are still apes, but we're human-looking apes?
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so then if that's not what you're saying, then what my question is, would be if we somewhere along the line started as the apes that we see in the zoo and then turned into the ape. Okay, that's what I just asked. You said no.
Yeah, and I said no again.
So
Okay,
actually,
so-
I have a question.
So you're saying no, we never were the apes that we see in the zoos?
Yes, because the apes that we were no longer exist.
Where did the apes
Those
that we
primates
had?
that we were.
Mackenzie, I have a question
primates-
for you
okay.
after they're done.
Can you not just relax? She's asking me a question. I'm trying to educate you. So
I already got it. That was all I was asking.
Okay, yeah, and I'm answering you.
Yeah, you already said no, we weren't those apes. I got my
You're
answer.
talking too much. So the
Yeah,
primates.
but let her explain the reason why.
I know.
It's very informative.
She knows I have an answer,
You should
and I
know.
don't know why she's over talking me. Maybe she doesn't want to hear the answer. But the whole point is we come from a group of primates, right? These
No.
primates that we evolved from no longer exist. This was a couple of thousand years ago. These primates that we came from branched off into different evolutionary groups. So we have the apes that we see today. We have some bonobos. We have chimpanzees, but we all came from the same common ancestor, right? We share the same primate, but we're in different branches. Evolution is a tree. So we're a different branch of that tree and we come from the same ancestor. That thing doesn't exist anymore. It is branched off into different animals and we are one of them.
Right.
So are you
No, I
trying to
know.
explain our mere existence?
I know. I understand now what you were saying. I was simply just asking you. Yeah, I
Are you trying to
knew that
explain?
before.
Venus, are you
I'd like
trying to
to-
explain our mere existence come
I
from?
think Venus just cooked you guys.
No,
Mackenzie, I still have a question for you.
Okay, but hold on.
You know what?
Hold on.
I'd love to hear.
Oh, guys,
So
guys,
Isaac has
guys,
been waiting
I've
forever
been waiting
to
forever.
ask
That's why I'm
something.
not
Yeah.
gonna stop.
Sorry. They were asking me stuff.
Yeah, Mackenzie, I have a question for you. This is really the only reason I came up. So earlier, whenever you asked who was on what side of the panel, right, and then you even Slick has said that they believe in some type of higher power, but did you still describe him as an atheist because he doesn't believe or he doesn't subscribe to Yahweh?
No, I don't believe that atheists are even a thing.
What?
Okay, I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm gonna need you to answer my question because you use the term atheist, so you were referring to some concept when you use that term. So I'm just gonna re-ask my question. Whenever you
But,
said
yeah, no, I don't. I wouldn't consider him an atheist.
you wouldn't consider him an atheist. All right, cool. Vaughn, do you consider him?
I exist, so we are a thing.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
Vaughn,
shit.
would
I think
you
it's
consider?
people
Would you
wanna
consider
dis-
Vaughn? Vaughn, would you consider Slick an atheist?
Atheists don't exist.
What was your
Vaughn,
question,
I'm
Avatar?
asking you. Do you consider Slick to be an atheist just because he doesn't subscribe to Yahweh?
An
I have the
atheist,
screen,
an
chat.
atheist means that they don't believe in any God, right?
Tap the
I mean, that's
screen.
what it means. I was just making sure that there weren't any Christians up here acting like they have some type of monopoly on the supernatural.
Isaac, are you Christian?
That's what
I'm
being
not
Christian
Christian.
is.
I don't
Hey,
think.
wait,
If what you're
guys.
asking me, Isaac, is if I believe that everybody who does not believe in my God is an atheist, no, I don't believe that.
Okay, awesome. I was just making sure.
Oh, going
People that
back.
are atheists just don't
Listen,
have
Hold on, yeah.
belief.
Hold on, yeah. Let
Vaughn,
those talk,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's stay relevant here because you guys should have been know what the fuck an atheist is. So back to the point is that you guys were trying to defeat evolution, and it just appears that Venus was able to defend the position. So can somebody tell me why it's necessary that this God created things and evolution is impossible to be the explanation?
So can I ask you
What question was
what
that?
great? Hold on. Venus or Kylo, whoever can answer this question, where does the great apes come from? Or did we just appear? Or did we evolutionize from fish?
Well, not a fish. It's a tetrapod. Can we please use correct terminology? If you're uneducated, I really advise.
Does their preacher, like, you guys get this information from the pastor or something?
I don't have a preacher,
These
sir.
atheists believe fish are the reason we exist.
But y'all
It was just a small joke.
our mere existence
It's called a
come from
hominini.
apes?
Hold on, Vaughn.
We're
Hold
still
on. Let her
apes.
answer the question.
It's called a hominini. And if you really want evidence, I would urge you to just watch a YouTube video. Go on Google. It'll break down the evolutionary tree for you. It'll show you the fossils that have been found. It'll explain to you how carbon, uranium, and potassium dating works. But to be honest, this is not really relevant. If you really want to learn about evolution, that's fine. But if evolution is false, that doesn't make your God or your theory of how we came about true anyways. For all we know, it could be magical farting pixies that birthed us. So you need evidence to support your claim instead of trying to falsify evolution. Because if you can,
I'm sorry that I don't want to.
Why do you start your sentence in the middle of mine?
We're having a conversation.
Wait, but I think what Vaughn is saying is that it's not her fault that Vaughn, were you going to say that you didn't have the knowledge? Hey Vaughn, please unmute your mic. Who's this?
Now she acting like she don't want to talk.
Okay, no. First of all, sweetheart, it doesn't make you smart because you're able to break down archaeological fossils.
It
And the
does.
fact
That's
that apes have this and that.
It does.
That doesn't make you sound smart, babe, okay?
It really does. I'm doing genetic engineering, and the fact that I understand these things does contribute to my intellect. Why do you have to downplay my intelligence? I'm trying to help educate you and answer your questions. Now you're just being rude, right?
Okay,
and
so
having
you-
research
so no, you-
and learning
you-
things actually does
okay.
make you educated and smart. I'm not calling anyone not smart. Everyone is
I said
educated
it doesn't
about
make you
different-
smarter than me.
Everyone is educated about different things, right? This is something that I'm educated about
And
because
that's
I'm doing
fine.
it at
I said,
university.
first of all, I
So
never
why are
did
you
say
saying
that
I'm
you
not
weren't
smart when I
smart.
am?
Hey,
Why are you
guys.
saying I'm not smart when I am?
Hey guys.
Sweetheart, I'm not saying you're not smart. I'm saying that this doesn't. If you're saying that what you're saying doesn't prove anything, then what are you saying? Is what I'm saying.
I'm answering questions. I'm answering questions.
I think that this would probably go a lot more productive if, one, we didn't talk over each other. Two, I would like, just for edifying purposes, to speak to the other believers in this panel and encourage them to speak from love.
I speak from love when I say I speak from love when I say the fact that you would want to discredit a Bible and put our mere existence in the hands of a freaking ape that apparently does not even exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The Bible is already
What are you even
discredited.
talking about?
Like it just makes me. It just makes me.
I think you have a very weird perspective of what's happening here.
That you would decide to put our existence.
The Bible is already discredited.
First of all, I know your broke ass at the top is not saying the Bible is discredited.
Kayla.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Look
Oh
at the
my goodness.
Christians.
Can we do this
You
productively,
guys see
please?
how the Christians conduct themselves, though.
I'm saying like check me out.
that.
You don't have to.
Kylo, you better exclude
pop a
me from
label
that,
that you don't
Kylo.
understand. You feel me?
Kylo, you better clarify that right now and take me out of that.
Hold on, hear me out.
Yelling not so
Oh
long
my
ago.
goodness.
Shut the fuck up.
Mackenzie, you were just yelling not too long ago. So the fact that you're trying to say like,
Mackenzie's the only one displaying
it's
godly
funny.
characteristics, right? Except for when she was being a little bit petty before, but she's honestly the most chill person.
Oh my god, bro.
But Venus, you also insulted someone's intelligence earlier as well. We're all guilty, are we not?
Yes,
Right.
we are
I
all
don't see why
guilty of
y'all
it.
can't just have a conversation
Guys,
and it just be funny. Like,
We're
you feel
all
me? Like,
guilty of
it's
it.
not that
We
deep.
should all try to stop, though. Okay, let's just stop doing it now.
Mackenzie, it's a conversation. It's okay to have a little bit of fun.
Venus, you got to take control of the panel game.
Hear me out though. You at the top though, slick Rick. All right, that's dope. That's dope. All right, so you said the Bible is discredited, dude. That's the most sold Bible in the world. Come on now, everybody know. Most people know about Jesus.
Most sold does not mean it's true.
No, hold on.
I don't
Pause.
understand why you brought
I
that
didn't-
up.
I wasn't done speaking. So if you would allow me to finish. You feel me? So with this being the most popular book, you don't have to say that it's credited or nothing, but to say like, oh, the Bible's been discredited by who though?
Okay, so multiple.
Is it the most old book? Wait.
Yes.
lying?
Yeah. Keep in mind, most sold doesn't mean
It doesn't mean
shit
most
except
true.
that.
Keep in mind
So
that
this is a
theories doesn't
pander.
mean but just that.
I don't want to hear
Right,
that.
come
That's
on,
like saying,
bro.
oh, it doesn't matter that Beyonce sold out
Okay,
concerts. It
so
does.
from a
She's a good
philosophical
singer.
standpoint, right?
Like,
Yeah. Just no. That would show that, but it doesn't mean that
Muscle.
everything Beyonce says
You
is
actually
true.
I didn't say
Would it?
that. The Bible is.
Okay. So just because the Bible is popular does not have anything to
Okay,
do with its
let's.
credibility, and so I don't know why you keep bringing up an
Hold on,
unnecessary point.
atheist.
No. Pause. Wait, stop, guys. Now, moving past this little fallacious dispute we had, getting back to the point here. For all the Christians on the panel, can any one of you guys show how any explanation other than a God is impossible?
What do you
Could you
mean?
repeat
Any
that?
other
I'm sorry.
explanation?
Could you repeat
That,
it?
yeah, so can any Christian on here demonstrate how the God explanation for existence is true?
The God explanations of existence is true.
How do you verify, right?
I mean,
That
it's
the God
broken
exists?
down. It's broken down, and it's actually written so that we can
It just says in the
comprehend it.
Bible, two people were created,
So is
man.
the rainbow silver snake, which is how the Aboriginals believe that we came here. That's broken down and explained. Now I want to know why we should believe that it's
Wait,
true.
Venus, hold on. How did you say the Aboriginal? What was that?
Bro, I feel like Slick Rick, you're just actually a brick, so just trolling.
I said the rainbow silver snake, which is how the indigenous people of Australia believe that everything was made. Like, they have an explanation too. But I feel like the question that we're really trying to ask is how we know his explanation is right. Because we can't just say, hey, this is most popular, so it's true. Because slavery was popular. That wasn't true.
Oh
So
God!
we need
Broccoli boy.
Oh my
we need
God!
like a good mechanism to be able
I
to
am
decipher.
absolutely appalled. That is. You said that slavery isn't true.
Yeah. It's
So
not true,
happened.
not
In
good,
our
not
history.
valid,
It never happened.
brother.
In our history books, it never happened. Never
No,
with
when I
the,
say
That's
the
not what she's
Atlantic
saying. That's
slave
not what
trade
she's
never
saying.
happened. We were
oh,
never
That's
enslaved
not what she
people.
said. That's
let
not
me
what she said.
clarify for you, my loves. Let me clarify for both of yous. I don't like muting people, but I feel like if we do this whole, hey, you said something, I don't understand it, it sounds like this, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to correlate it with this. If we do that, that's being a bit childish. If you don't understand what I'm saying, ask me to clarify. When I say slavery popular, not true, I mean not valid, not good, not justified, just because popular, right? That's what I mean. Okay, so now you guys can go ahead.
May I?
You may.
You just have to watch what you say, babe. At the end of the day, because if you say
No, you have
slavery.
to put your listening ears on. No one is perfect. We're all gonna misspeak sometimes, right?
Okay.
All right. So,
Can somebody give us a prayer? Like, can we stop and pray? Because
I would love to. I would love to pray over
We
y'all.
need a prayer. Someone pray for us.
thank you,
Okay,
Jesus.
Heavenly
so
Father, I
guys, we're
just
going to
pray that
get
you would open
passionate
their
and
eyes,
get
soften their
moving.
hearts.
Wait, don't
Father,
start yet. Don't start yet.
all right, y'all
Guys,
let me know when to stop.
everybody bow your heads. Everybody bow your heads, please.
All right, Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to engage in respectful discourse. Lord, I just pray that you would be with everybody in this panel, that you would allow us to show love and respect to one another. I pray that you would open the hearts and open the eyes of the non-believers on this panel and grant them your Holy Spirit so that they can understand you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. That was amazing.
I hope that helps you guys.
I think she left.
See, now she's a demon.
I think
that's
she did not want to pray.
That's a real freaking demon right there.
I think she didn't want to pray. I would just like to also throw a reminder out for the chat specifically.
Thank you, Fox. Appreciate you.
People who claim Jesus, myself included in this, okay? We're not Jesus. We are not perfect. So don't base your beliefs on us.
Yeah, I guess the theists up here are just defending what they know to be true in their positions.
No, I know. I was just speaking on some other
Oh,
people's
right,
behaviors.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying that doesn't represent Jesus?
Yes.
Didn't he promote theft? You know when he said go steal those donkeys?
When he said what? Sorry.
when he told those people to steal that donkey?
I can't understand what you're saying.
You said
You
go
don't
steal that donkey.
you don't know the Bible verse where Jesus told people to take a donkey that wasn't theirs? You never heard of that? Hello?
I can't give you the scripture off the top of my head. No, I've heard of it.
You know what's crazy about that? Because the other day I was just telling people, like in America, I was just like, we need to start taking back our stuff. Our what did they say? 400 acres and a mule. Like we need to start taking back what's ours. I was just saying that, but
I wouldn't. I
from a
wouldn't
very
say that.
Christian perspective.
I
is what I'm
wouldn't
saying.
say that God promotes death. I wouldn't say that God promotes death.
I think he said theft, like
Yeah,
stealing,
theft.
theft.
Oh, I thought you said death. That's why I was like, why are we talking about a donkey? Okay.
No,
And
thievery.
for the record, he does promote debt.
Well, I would disagree with you. I would also disagree that he promotes theft, but whatever.
I don't think it's theft in a way that you're just thinking about, because you know you got to read around the Bible and you got to study a little deeper. And I get it; it's hard to do that as a Christian. That's why we get, grouped up and all this stuff. But the Bible talks about
Would you say he does promote theft?
I would say
Yes,
that
and the first command that
Wait,
he
I
gives
was
us.
asking Kayla actually.
Okay, but I'm saying the first command that he gives to anybody at all has death in it. The day you eat from that tree, you shall surely die.
Yeah,
Right.
but right, and I love that you
Doesn't
said that, because that
promote
just
death.
means it doesn't have to be a physical death.
And that also doesn't promote death. He's not like encouraging people to go out and kill each other.
Joshua was killing a whole lot of people, and Joshua asked him to let the sun stand still.
Don't say the key word.
Kill
Don't
more.
say the
Oh,
don't say
I'm
the key
so
word.
sorry. I'm
Yeah, y'all going crazy.
forgetting.
I would say the ending of Mark promotes unaliving.
The ending of what?
The ending of Mark.
And also to restart life, he locked 8 people on a boat and unalive everybody else.
Could you say
Oh,
that again?
God.
You know what I gotta respect about people that don't even be Christian? They be knowing the fuck out that Bible.
They really do.
Nothing's wrong with knowing it. It's a book.
I didn't say there's nothing wrong with it. Calm
Listen, a
down.
lot of people know a lot about Star Wars, okay? These are not like crazy things.
I know a lot about Disney and all that stuff. It don't make it real.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Atheist,
I'm gonna jump
you were
off.
amazing, brother.
Appreciate all your guys' time. The conversations were great.
Amazing.
Kylo, thank you for having me.
Take care.
Everyone, have a good day.
You take care.
You have a good one.
And
Good one.